Hey, I voted for Donald Trump, and really starting to regret my vote.
I'm so sorry I voted for Trump. I didn't know he was going to take away Social Security from 150-year-olds. So I admit, I regret my vote for Donald Trump. I regret it because I needed these changes sooner. I needed the prices to go down sooner so that I didn't drain out my bank accounts.
You know, I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it because now, since Elon Musk took over, I lost my job. This last night in the hotel, I was ahead of the broken pencil department, and I just got word that it's pointless.
Hi guys, my name is Esther Daniel and you're welcome back to the channel. Before we move on to what people has to say, please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to help the channel out, and don't forget to drop your opinion in the comments.
I was a Trump supporter. I don't know how long I can keep doing this. I have a construction company and not a fucking thing is getting done. This is what I get. This is what I fucking get. Nothing but white boys. It takes 4 days to do a one-day job. I might have fucked up.
Normally the people who regret their vote, yeah, you take them in, whatever, but this guy in particular, he didn't give a fuck until it affected him, and until it affected what? His money. This means that this man voted for families to be torn apart. And right now, he does not care about the families being torn apart. He pretty much, in his videos, I went through his page, his only issue is his pockets. He does not care about the living conditions that these migrants are being put in. He doesn't care about the families being torn apart. He doesn't care about lives being shattered. He literally just gives a fuck that his business is losing money because YT people don't work as hard as migrants. That is it. That's all. That's all he gives a fuck about. So yes, I hope your business fails. I hope you feel every single ounce of that vote. Because you didn't give a shit until it affected your pockets. And that's kind of one of the lowest things. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow. Are you on to my face again? Thank you. Goodbye.
This video might not reach a lot of people, and that's okay. But I wanted to make this video because I lost a lot of followers due to the fact that I voted for Trump. And that's okay. I really don't care. But at the end of the day, I wanted to share something with you guys. I was working for an agency, and I'm not going to say what agency this was or, you know, what my affiliation is or whatever the case is, but I was in the operating room with an illegal immigrant from Pakistan. It was me and my partner, and I remember the doctor turning over to me and asking me, you know, do you know how much this is costing the U.S. government? This surgery, he was getting open heart surgery. They had his chest pried open with these metal things, and I was standing above his head and I could literally touch this detainee's heart. He looked at me and said, this detainee, before we administered the anesthesia, before we put him to sleep, he was saying that if indeed he died, to remember that he hated America. When this doctor looked at me and asked me how much this surgery was costing the U.S. government, I said how much. He was like, it's costing over $200,000. This person is an illegal immigrant, and U.S. citizens have to be on a wait list. Some of them just waiting to die. And that to me was the turnaround point where I never been really political or anything like that, but I knew that there had to be a change, and that's why I casted my vote for Trump. Among other reasons. I like the guy. He got that surgery for free. For free. Just so he can live another day, go to his country, and still scream death to America or I hate America. So, in a future election, before you vote, just think. Think about your vote and what that vote means. Don't tell me I'm racist. My daughter's half black. Don't tell me I'm, against, the LGBTQ community because my daughter's also gay. Don't come at me in the comments either talking about, oh, you can't relate because none of your family members were deported. Matter of fact, my mom was deported. She was illegal and she also committed a crime in this country. She served, out of 35 years, she served 11. Also, my brother was also deported because he committed a crime here in the United States. He also got deported. Don't come at me in the comments with all this nonsense that I can't relate. And guess what? I still voted for Donald Trump. So don't come at me in the comments. I really don't need negativity. It is what it is.
If you are one of the hundreds, thousands, millions of people who voted for Trump in November and you regret your vote, you have remorse, especially after seeing how this administration is inhumanely detaining our migrants and our immigrants here in America. If you are now starting to be impacted by some of these policies that you wanted to see come into fruition when you voted for that man, I want to let you know and make it so abundantly clear that this is not a safe space for you. In fact, I'm about to give you some more information that should make your day even more shitty if it hasn't been shitty already. See, when you walked your little happy racist ass to the ballots and you casted that vote for that orange man, you knew damn well what he was going to do because he campaigned on it. But you was hoping that it wasn't going to affect you. I know that you was hoping that it wasn't going to affect you. And now that it has started affecting you, you want to cry out. You want to cry out. No, suck them tears back in and let me tell you what else is about to be affected due to your vote, okay? So, farms, right? The farmers and the produce, you know, the people who actually pick the produce from out the ground, yeah, they were immigrants. So, yeah, that's going to be impacted. Also, restaurants. You see the waitresses, the line cooks, the people who clean up the spot, who wash the dishes. Yeah, they're usually immigrants. So if your service at the restaurant is exceptionally slow and horrible, if the food doesn't taste the way that it used to before, 9 times out of 10, the person who was doing the job before was an immigrant. Okay, next, manual labor. So construction work, baby. And I'm not just talking construction. I also mean landscape. You know them people that you want to hire to come and cut your grass or clean your pool? Trim your hedges? Yeah. And you know that they got the green thumb. So when your grass and your front lawn is all patchy and brown, remember the person that was keeping it green and alive was an immigrant. Okay, next, retail. Y'all be forgetting who be unloading these trucks. Y'all forget for real. But I'm here to remind you, it was an immigrant. Also in hospitality, oh, you know this. Y'all should have known this. In the hotels, on the cruises, the maid services. Y'all forgot? Who was working them jobs? Yeah, it was an immigrant. Also, child caring services, the nannies. Yeah. Say bye-bye to your little Brad being bilingual because you helped deport his Mexican, Nicaraguan, Colombian, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Jamaican. You helped deport them. You helped that. So, round of applause to you. Also remember, before you come out your face and say, at least now jobs are available, these jobs were always available to Americans. Y'all never wanted to fucking do them. Actually, correction. Y'all didn't want to do it for free. Y'all didn't want to do it while being exploited. You didn't want to do it knowing that you were being underpaid and you had no benefits. But you were okay with letting the migrants and the illegal aliens do it. Correction. You don't want to do it for free. You don't want to do it while being exploited. You don't want to do it knowing that you're being underpaid. You don't want to do it knowing that you don't get no benefits. You don't want to do it knowing that you don't get no time off. Correction.
So my husband and I, we were driving home the other day. I was driving. He was sitting in the passenger seat. And he asked me a question. God bless him. Whoops. That's how it starts every time. He was scrolling on his phone. I'm just driving, jamming to my music. And he looks over and he says, oh, what's your take? What do you think on these former Trump supporters coming out and making these videos on this app in particular, saying they regret their vote? And friends, when I tell you that I just had to do a I just had to do a sideways, because I'm driving, right? One sideways look, and he went, oh no. And that's like, how much time do you have? Clearly, okay, he wanted to know my take, and now you get to know my take. I did my rant, and I said, I think I should share that one. And he was like, God help us. Like, yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. How do I feel about these Trump supporters, former Trump supporters that are coming out and making these videos saying they regret their vote? Okay. Clearly, we need to talk about the concept of martyrdom in Christianity, and how martyrdom is trained into us early and often, particularly women. And most of the videos I have seen have been women. Maybe that's just my algorithm. Maybe I'm crazy, but most of them have been women coming out and saying they regret their vote. Martyrdom is saint-like. Martyrdom is Christ-like. Martyrdom, ooh, it feels good. And so this is the issue that I have. The only person that gets to feel good about a former Trump supporter coming out and saying, I regret my vote. The only person that gets any kind of peace, sense of forgiveness, sense of moving on, sense of edification, sense of having suffered and now they are forgiven, is the person who made that video, right? The people in the comments rail against them. We don't care. We don't accept your apology, blah, blah, blah. Like the comments just flood of people letting them have it. That's what they want, because they are martyring themselves, making this video. But here's the thing. The energy on the internet, the memory of the internet only lasts about 3 to 7 days if you're lucky, okay? So they make these videos and they get hammered. They get hammered for about 3 to 7 days. But then they fade away, because that's what this app in particular, that's what the internet does, any kind of outrage about anything. You notice how we're already not talking about how a former House rep for Minnesota was assassinated? It happened too many fucking days ago. We've stopped talking about it. So these people get to come out. That was a Trump supporter, by the way, that did those heinous acts of violence, right? So these former Trump supporters get to come out. They get to have their 3-minute video where they act so contrite. They act so contrite. They act so penitent. And they say, I regret my vote. And I know you'll hate me for it, right? They're teeing it up. I know I'll get a lot of hate for this. They want it. They crave it. It fits the martyr narrative. And then they get to forgive themselves because they suffered as Christ suffers, right? They suffered the 3 to 7 days of internet shaming, right? But then it's over. So my question is, to every single person that makes I voted for Trump and now I regret my vote video, is what are you doing outside of this video, right? Have you divested yourself from family like we have? Have you gone to the marches? Are you re-registering yourself to vote Democrats? Are you participating in campaigns? Have you gone to a single school board meeting? What are you doing? What does your actual activism look like to turn this tide away from authoritarianism? Because this video that you're doing, right? Your contrition martyrdom video, that's just for you. That's not for us. That's not for us. That's not for anyone in the comments that gets to feel 2.4 seconds of relief that they let you have it. It's not for us. It's for you to feel better. What are you actually doing to fucking fix what you fucking broke? That's my question. That's my question. Answer that question after you make your shitty fucking video where you get to feel better and you get to feel forgiven. All right? We don't forgive you. We will remember. What are you doing? What are you doing? Answer that question.
See, we told you how it was going to begin, and then we told you how it was going to end. Look at this shit.
Very happy and excited that Trump won. As far as financially, obviously nothing's really changed. We're still under the Biden administration, but I know that it is coming. And so I admit I regret my vote for Donald Trump. I regret it because I needed these changes sooner. I needed the prices to go down sooner so that I didn't drain out my big...
See, some of y'all are still in the fuck around and find out stage. See, most of y'all thought that when he was elected, he was going to change everything for you. Didn't realize that his first 100 days, he didn't give two shits about you. Every executive order was for something else besides what you thought it was going to be for. He's a businessman, so I'm not even sure why you guys are even surprised. These type of people don't go through everyday American shit. You thought he was going to feel your pain or he was going to help you out with what you was going through? Good old Daddy Donnie got your ass again. Hey, as I always say, this is who y'all voted for. See, we told you how...
I'm gonna say the meanest thing I could possibly say to these Trump voters posting self-pity videos because they're suffering due to his policies. Now, I don't do personal attacks, so I'm just gonna tell you the truth, because sometimes the truth hurts. You don't get to complain. You definitely don't get to complain about the lack of leadership or ideas coming from Democrats, because we didn't do this to us. You did this to us. If you and I are driving down the interstate together and you reach over and grab the wheel and you steer us into a 200-foot deep ravine full of lava and sharks because you think big interstate is corrupt and you thought it would be funny to shake things up, when I scream at you as lava sharks eat our legs, you don't get to be mad at me for being mad at you, because it was my idea to stay on the interstate and it was your idea that ruined everything for both of us. You don't get to ask what Democrats would do differently with the economy. You don't get to ask what Democrats are doing to help us right now. Those are 2024 questions. But we're in 2025 consequences. This era of the United States right now, this is about the president you elected, the cabinet secretaries your Senate confirmed, the cowering Republicans you elected to obey him in Congress, and all of the very real consequences resulting. We told you these things were going to happen and we gave you lots of warnings, but you grabbed the wheel anyway. If you want to know what Democrats would do differently, look at the track record going back to the Great Depression. Economic growth, job growth, wage growth, retirement plan growth, all of these things have been better under Democratic leadership than Republican. If you like these things, you vote for Democrats because it's what Democrats do. I don't care if you like the Democratic candidate. I don't even care if you understand how the policies work. And I'm not going to ask you if you believe me, because every chart and every graph that matters at the highest level for the middle class proves me right over the past 100 years. I'm only going to ask you that over the next year and a half, you come to grips with this fact so you don't make the same mistake again.